problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What is going down, sports fans, hustlers, gamblers, cappers all around the world? It is your boy, Marley Bets, and this is the MLB for Brothas N Bets. And of course, when I'm talking to MLB, I got my guy, Mr. Moose Money. Moose, you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing all right. As I was telling you earlier, had a pretty eventful drive home. Lost some notes out the window. But we'll see how it do, man. I can improvise. You know, it's all about adjustments. I tell all my players, tell all my students, if you're having an issue, it's time to make an adjustment. That's what I'm going to do right here.
Hey, that's all you can do, man. Can't dwell on it and cry about it. Just got to adjust and move on, as they say. Already got a couple comments. SBO, what's good, my brother? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. As I sip my drink, appreciate you tuning in, my brother. So, really quick before we jump into it, quick recap of yesterday. Oh, wait, that's not what I'm looking for. Yesterday, quick recap of yesterday. Everybody's above 500. If I think I got that correct, Moose. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was a 2-2 day for me.
2-2. Okay, I wrote 2-1-1. I think I pushed on that. I pushed you on that. Astros.
No, it was a loss. I had minus a half.
Yeah. So we'll change that really quick. It's cool. Still, even with that correction, everybody yesterday was at least 500 or better. Moose went 2-2. I went 4-1. Cabby went 2-2. Man, yesterday was a lucky day. Hey, what can I say? These guys are the baseball experts. I'm just riding along. You know, I'm in the back seat, just riding along, taking notes.
Yeah, well, you're in the back seat making the best plays, so take that with a grain of salt.
Just one day, day early in the year. Long way to go. We're all gonna fucking cash some tickets. So this is us overall for the year. I need to change that for Moose, but we're 6-4. Cabby's 2-1. That was the only day. Moose is at 3-4-1. After some error, I got to take that tie off, and LJ is at 3-3 from the day before yesterday. And think the Angels break the skid. Well, we are going to jump into that game, SBO, and I think that is the first game on the docket, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check the time slots. I don't want to do any games that I want to do the games that are about to start first. I know that's an East Coast game, so I'm sure that's one of the first games.
I didn't have here. I can get my schedule up real quick. It doesn't take me really long to get onto the MLB. You got your first games coming up here in about 45 minutes, and it is Mariners, Orioles, Angels, Yankees, White Sox, Bluejays. They all start the same time. Twins, Tigers. They all start same time.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into it. They all start 6 o'clock starts. All right.
Yep.
All right. So how about we jump into those early games right now? And we're going to start out with Mariners, Orioles. Let's jump there.
All right.
And the lines are as follows. The Mariners, the run line -1.5 is at +110. The money line is at +112. Orioles run line +1.5 is at -130. And the money line is at +131 with a total of 9. Couple of actual factuals, as I call them. The Mariners, they're 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games against Baltimore. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Baltimore. But 6-14 straight up in the last 20 games against an American League opponent. Their totals have gone over in 5 of the last 5 games against an opponent from the AL East division, over in 5 of the last 5 games on the road, but under in 4 of their last 5. The Orioles, they're 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games when playing at home against Seattle, 5-15 straight up in their last 20 games played in the month of June. If anybody's crazy about those monthly stats, their totals have gone under in 5 of the last 6 games against Seattle, but over in 4 of the last 5 games at home, and also over in 4 of the last 5 games when playing against an opponent from the AL West Division. Mr. Moose Money, do you have a play on this game? We got, pitchers. We got Bobby Ray, who's 4-5 with the ERA of 4.75, and Kyle Bradish, who's 1-3 with an ERA of 7.31. Mr. Moose Money, what's the play on this game?
So, I mean, the Orioles for the longest time were pretty anemic when it came to their offensive numbers. Camden has played severely to the under. I'm not sure how many of you have been able to scope out an Orioles game, but their left field has been converted into almost what looks like a minor league type feature. It's playing more to the under. But when you have Kyle Bradish, when you have Robbie Ray on the mound, it's really tough to try to endorse any kind of under. Robbie Ray has pitched better at home, not on the road. His ERA on the road is over 5. Bradish's ERA is just horrendous. I mean, if it makes you feel like you're eating radishes when you're watching Bradish, it's just a guy he's a prospect trying to figure it out at the big league level. And when you have a prospect that is trying to figure it out at the big league level and they're struggling, it usually takes either some kind of time away from the game, whether it's an all-star break or whether it's a brief stint on the injury list to get out of it. So I looked at the over here, and I really didn't want to try to get into the bullpen for the Orioles because the Orioles bullpen has been pretty good. Mariners bullpen has been spotty. It's been inconsistent, but I do think it's going to be a better bullpen as the year goes along. So I attacked the first 5 over 4.5. I got that yesterday at -105. I'm just extremely confident that there's going to be runs scored here. The Orioles versus lefties they've not been successful, but I do have this stat here. The Orioles in the last 15 days do have a 240 average and a 691 OPS, which isn't great, but it's a lot better than the overall numbers that suggest like a 210, 209 type average with like a 600 OPS. So there has been a lot of improvement over the last couple of weeks versus lefties. Robbie Ray on the road just is not as good. So, yeah, I'm going to take Mariners on the road, not as good either, but really tough to pass on it over with Robbie Ray on the road and Kyle Bradish pitching. So I'll take the over 4.5. First 5.
Got you. Over Astros, LJ. Astros top of the 9th, bases loaded, 1 out. Yeah, I just seen that score. They just fucked me on my under, LJ. That's what they just did. Fucked me on my under. But took the first 5 under, caught that at plus money. So I guess it's technically a wash. Technically. They want the bats to come alive in the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah, the Astros, that's what they do.
That's what we do. I know. That's why I'm really not even too mad about it. It's kind of how it happens. I hit one under, so I guess I'll take it. So I have Moose on. Oh, wasn't trying to do that. Got Moose on first 5.
Over 4.5.
5 over 4.5. And that was the Mariners.
And and one of the points that Cab made yesterday was in the first 5, you're guaranteed the bottom half of the inning. If you take full games, you're not guaranteed the bottom half of the 9th. Right.
Yes, that's true. Cab brought that to my attention. I don't know if it was the same day on the nightcap, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he said it, so just credit to Cab for saying it. I'll repeat it. So if you want to give anybody the real credit, you can throw it my way, and I'll tell Cab later.
I'll give you guys both the credit. How's that sound?
There you go. All right, that works.
All right, Ragu, Doc, my guy.
Oh,
what's up, Doc? What's going on? All right, so I'm right there with you, except I took the full game, which now that we just had this conversation about what Cab said, it really makes me wish I would have took the first 5. But I took the over 9. I got it at plus money. And pretty much for the same reasons that you just listed. I went in back and I looked up the Orioles. 3 out of the last 5 games have went 10 or more runs. They're only Bradish's ERA is at 7.30.
Yeah, it's all
seven.
bad. All
Yeah,
Bradish ERAs across the
right.
board, day, night,
And
home, road. They're all bad.
And you know, Robbie Ray, he hasn't like you said on the road. He's been struggling. His overall averages ERA is at 4.75, almost a 5. He's given up 52 hits on the season already. So I probably should have went first 5, but I saw the 5 versus the 9 at plus money, so took my chances with the 9. Overall, but both these teams aren't really batting worth shit.
No, they're not. And that's why a lot of the things go to the under. The ballpark plays to the under, but it's just – and I said this a while ago, but bad offenses can make bad pitchers look good. I don't see that happening with both sides of it. I think if it's going to happen, it's probably going to be Robbie Ray more than it would be Kyle Bradish. But if you're going to tell me it's 4.5 in the first 5 innings and I can get that at a decent value, I'm taking it. Like, if you gave me a minus 120, no. But if you're giving me minus 10, minus 105, even money, I'll take it.
What do you think about taking Ray on the first 5?
I don't like Ray on the road.
Right, you just said that.
The Orioles have been hitting lefties better recently. Their overall numbers not good against lefties, but recently, last 15 games, as I mentioned, it's like a 240 average, almost a 700 OPS, which is not; those aren't great numbers. But considering that they used to hit like 218, 210, 208 like almost a month ago, it's definitely improvement. It's showing signs of life because the Orioles offense was supposed to be a lot better. It was supposed to be an offense that might be able to trade away some pieces and build towards the future even more.
Right. All right. Just wondering. All right, so just to not necessarily the recap, but to make sure I got the numbers correctly, I'm on the full game over 9 at plus 100. Moose is on the first 5 over 4.5. And I put exclamation point instead of first. Let's see. All right. Let's see what we got going in the chat.
Question. And Ragu, it's also San Diego. We just got swept by the Cardinals. So everything going bad here down south in the Southern Cali.
Oh, James, we're going to cover this game. This is one of the games we're going to cover. I got you. I guess you're responding to that. What's in the LA water these days? Not talking lower Alabama or Louisiana. Angels. Yeah. I don't know. I've been off those Dodgers, man. Those lines have just been like stupidly juiced. So we're talking like 3 -3s. Something like that. So yeah, I've just completely stayed away.
Yeah.
That's been my philosophy in playing that. Says gotcha, Moose, man. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, well, I will. Yeah, I went over our plays already for that game. All right. Next we got, let's go to these Yankees. We got the Yankees, or the Angels rather, going on the road to take on the Yankees. That line opened up, or is currently at. The Angels run line plus 1.5 is at minus 130. The money line is at plus 165. Yankees run line minus 1.5 is at plus 110. And the money line for the Yankees is at minus 175. And the total is at 8. A couple actual factuals before I kick it to Moose for his breakdown. The Angels, they're 0-6 straight up in the last 6 games. 7-13 straight up in the last 20 games against the Yankees. 6-14 straight up in the last 20 games when playing on the road against the Yankees. 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games against an opponent in the American League. Now, their totals have gone over in 8 of the last 10 games against an opponent from the AL East. Over in 5 of the last 6 games on the road, and over in 4 of their last 5 games. The Yankees, 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games, 15-4 straight up in the last 19 at home, 14-6 straight up in the last 20 games when playing at home against the Angels. Their totals have went under in 6 of the last 8 against an opponent from the AL West Division, under in 4 of their last 6, but over in 5 of the last 7 against the Angels. Moose, I think I know where you're going with this one, but I'm gonna let you tell the people what you got for me.
I mean, it's pretty easy to look at this matchup and see the dichotomy between these two pitchers. Reid Detmers, who has a somewhat decent kind of season in terms of his ERA and his no-hitter, all that kind of stuff. But you look at his metrics, they're terrible. They're not good. He's got a 484 expected slug. He's got a 43.2 hard hit rate. His expected ERA is 4.2. His ERA in the month of May was 4.24. His ERA on the road is 8.49. His ERA at night is 5.05. You look at Cortez on the other side, expected batting average of 199, sub-Mendoza type numbers, a 316 slugging. He's got a 2.17 expected ERA, 1.95 ERA in May, 1.96 ERA at home, and a 1.69 ERA at night. Those two could not be more different. And I got the line last night before it just got juiced to holy hell. So I took the Yankees money line. I took that yesterday at minus 160. I also got the run line. So I kind of created a good old-fashioned -1 by kind of taking the run line and the money line. So if the run line doesn't cash, but they win by 1, I still get a little bit of something. I also, tune back in a little bit later. I did take a player prop in this as well, because if Detmers is giving up a ton of hard hits, there's a guy on the Yankees that has a real good hard hit percentage. So tune back in later in the player prop section, and I'll give you guys what that info is all about.
Okay. I also, obviously, I'm not as knowledgeable as my guy, Mr. Moose Money here, but this is a no-brainer, guys. You don't have to be Mr. Baseball to figure this one out. Like I told Moose before we started the show, I'm just riding Cortez.
Yeah,
that's all that is for me. I'm just all over Cortez here. Nestor Cortez has been dealing. He's 4-1. His ERA is at 1.70, 0.85 whip with runners in scoring position. What can we say about this guy?
I mean, the dude's straight out of like 1890. So Ragu said it. The dude is old fashioned. I mean, I think he's got like 35 different nicknames out there in New York. But the simple fact of the matter is, dude just pitches, and he's really fun to watch pitch because he'll change arm slots. He'll change his rhythm and tempo. I haven't seen him quick pitch anybody, but I'm sure he will do that at some point this year if the umpire allows it. I like Nestor. I just like the dude. I think he's going to continue to pitch, and he's going to pitch well. I don't think Detmers is going to pitch well. I don't think he's going to be the guy that some people think he is. I've got some Angel buddies that they really think Reid Detmers is kind of the future. And, I got to hey, slow your roll a little bit. The dude does not have the same type of numbers after his first no-hitter that he did when he got that no-hitter.
Right. I mean, he's 2-2 right now with a 4.65 ERA. He's only given up 26 hits and 7 homers. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't look at Detmers a whole lot. I just kind of, once I start looking at Cortez's numbers, it was just kind of like, I'm going to ride Cortez. And my homeboy Matt Carpenter just signed for the Yankees. Has nothing to do with the game at all. But for me, it does.
It helps you. It helps you. Makes you feel good.
Right. So I made 2 plays on this game. I took the Yankees first 5 under, or not the Yankees, but the first 5 under 4.5. Kind of worried about the Yankees bats just a little bit, but
yeah, they kind of woke up a little bit yesterday. I mean, they had been really poor up until yesterday, and sometimes it can just be one of those games. And Thor, when he struggles, man, he's a streaky pitcher. When he struggles, and he seems to be kind of in the middle of that little struggle. But when he figures it out, you got to be on that train because he'll figure it out for 4, 5, 6 games and just be dominant.
So hopefully the bats don't come too much alive. But I did take the Yankees on the I did them on the run line, -1.5. Took the plus money at 110. I heard who was that? SBO earlier saying he thinks the Angels snap out of it today.
Just be based off of pure baseball logic. You go, a team cannot lose that many times in a row with the talent they have. But it's
But
the
with
Angels.
this guy coming up, I don't know.
I mean, they do that. They do this type of stuff like every year. I mean, every Angels fan will tell you there's a few things you can count on. You can count on the Angels struggling versus the Yankees. You can count on the Angels not having a great bullpen, and you can count on them getting booted out in the first round of the playoffs if they make it. With Trout on it, anyways. If you bring back Tim Salmon and Troy Glaus, it's a different story.
Do you think it's the travel, maybe East Coast to West Coast, long distance?
It could. I'm sure there's stats on it that you could look up. You know, what teams on the far east versus teams on the far west. How will they do against each other? But the simple fact of the matter is, the Yankees, Red Sox, when they travel west, they win. But when the teams in the west travel east, it's not nearly as successful. And I don't have any stats to back that up right now. That's just something that over the course of my baseball viewership, I've noticed time and time again.
Gotcha. All right. It's the stash. I don't know if I clicked on that already. I think I did. It's the stash. All right, guys, let's keep it moving right on. Oh, y'all check out LJ show tonight. We're going to break down the NBA finals preview. Me, Wham, LJ. I'm leaving out somebody, but it's on the Raw Word Sports podcast. Mr. LJ from Houston. Y'all check that out. Check us out tonight. And let's look at, James was asking about this game, so let's go here.
Yeah.
We got the White Sox. They're going on the road to take on the Bluejays up north. Let me get up my actuals really quick. And that line is currently at, there we go, Bluejays. That sucks. All right. White Sox run line plus 1.5 is at minus 175. The run line is at plus 112. The money line is at plus 112. Blue Jays run line minus 1.5 is at plus 155. The money line is at minus 122. The total is at 8.5. Get a couple actual factuals before I kick it to the Moose Man. We're going to start with the White Sox. They're 2-4 straight up in their last 6. 10-4 straight up in the last 14 games on the road. 5-13 straight up in the last 18 games when playing as an underdog. Totals is going under in 6 of their last 9 games when playing on the road against Toronto, but over in 4 of their last 6 games. The Blue Jays, 6-0 straight up in their last 6 games. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against an opponent from the American League. Their totals have gone under in 6 of the last 9 when playing at home against the White Sox. Under in 7 of the last 8 games at home. Under in 7 of the last 10 games when playing against the White Sox, but over in 6 of their last 7 games. That's all I got for the actual factuals. Moose, it's on you. What you got for us?
Ragu, man, you got this right there. It's really tough to go against the Blue Jays right now. But Kopech is, dude, he's solid. He's really good. All his numbers say that it should be a good game for him. But if you're going up against one of the hottest, if not the hottest, I mean, it's the Blue Jays, the Red Sox. There's just a few teams right now that are just hitting really, really well. So it's tough to play a side here. It was really tough to play a side. I would not talk anybody off of playing the Blue Jays. But, and this is where I'm going, it is the White Sox versus a lefty. And for a little while, you could kind of rein that in because they just weren't hitting lefties as well. But it's starting to get back to where you thought it, where we had it last year, where we thought that they were just auto plays every time they faced a lefty. You look at Ryu, and Ryu has had a lot better season recently. You look at his numbers coming out the gate, where he had a 13.5 ERA right out of the gates, only starting 2 games. And then since then has dropped about a 1.72 ERA. But you look at who he's played, and I just brought this up. He got torched up by the Rangers, and he got touched up by the A's. And then you look who he played after that, and it does not give you any kind of confidence that Ryu's going to shut down a White Sox team. They played the Rays, the Reds, the Angels. And Angels I give you, but he did give up 2 runs, 6 hits, and 5 innings pitched. The games he pitched well in were the Reds when the Reds were really bad, and he pitched okay against the Tampa Bay Rays. So I went White Sox team total. I went White Sox team total for full game, and I went White Sox team total for the first top 5. Because one thing that has not been good for the Blue Jays has been their bullpen. Their bullpen has been struggling. Romano has been relied on heavily. Any Blue Jays fan in here can tell you Romano's been money, but he's been used a lot. They have been putting his cash on the counter for every single chance they get. So I took White Sox team total over 3.5 for the full game, and then I took White Sox team total for the first 5 over 1.5. The juice isn't great, but if I was getting, I got a minus 125 for the full game, and I got a minus 145 for the first 5. If you're going to tell me all I need is 2 in the first 5 and then 2 more in the rest of the game, I'm taking it. It's the White Sox versus lefties. I don't really want to play the side. I do not trust that Kopech is going to hold down the Blue Jays offense, so it's all about the total. I don't know if the Blue Jays will score. They probably could. They probably would. But one thing I would rather bank on, rather put my money on, would be the White Sox team total over 3.5, over 1.5.
All right, over 3.5 and over 1.5, right?
Yep. Full
Gotcha.
game, first 5.
Full game and first 5. Gotcha. All right, let me get this in real quick. Yankees. I never wrote my Yankees play. There. First 5. And 1. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to give this as a show play. I don't know why I just said that, but I did take a flyer on the White Sox money line because Ryu hasn't been the Ryu that we've seen in the past. I think he can get touched up. And talking to me?
No, I was looking at Ragu's comment.
Oh, gotcha. Let me get on that. What did Ragu say? Sox versus lefties. There we go. Sox versus lefties. 2.258 and 750 OPS versus MLB 7th best. And on top of that, Ryu just hasn't been like you mentioned earlier, the Ryu that we've come to know and love. I wasn't sure I was going to give that play as a show play, but since I just did, since I gave it out, then I'm on it. I guess I'll go ahead. But the play I was going to give out was I took a shot at the over for the full game. And pretty much because I feel like outside of the Blue Jays bullpen hasn't been stellar at all. God damn it. I'm sorry. Gnats and shit flying around. Hasn't been too stellar at all. And the I'm sorry, let me get to my notes really, really quick. This is where I need Coach at, man. He normally runs the show versus me. Yeah, right. He's 2-0. I think a lot of that goes towards his bats. His ERA is at 5.48. And I looked at the Blue Jays totals here recently. We got 6-5, 11-10, 6-5. Look at the White Sox. We got 6-5, 5-9, and 16-7. 3 out of those last 5 games have went over, and all we're looking at is a 8.5. And with the way Ryu's been pitching, and with the way the bullpen has been pitching, and the way the Sox have been hitting lefties, you're already on the team total over with the White Sox. So I figure, in the way the Blue Jays bats have been swinging all season, kind of, well, I won't say all season, but
yeah, it's not a bad look at all because
for the most part, we'll say.
Yeah, if Kopech pitches well, and they pull them after 6, and they have like a 4-2 lead or something like that. That White Sox bullpen can come in and give up 3 runs, and all of a sudden now the Blue Jays are making that comeback, because that White Sox bullpen, even though it does have a ton of talent, a ton of good arms, they have not looked good this year. And maybe you can start kind of pointing the finger at old man La Russa and some of the things that he does in that clubhouse. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm not a beat guy, but it is eyebrow raising to see how that team is performing thus far.
Yeah, they had World Series expectations right now, right? They're in the same, forgive me if I get this wrong, division as the Twins. Am I correct?
What was that?
What division are they in?
Yeah, they're Central. Yeah, with the Twins, the Tigers, the Royals, right? The Guardians.
Yeah, who've jumped out to a nice start thus far with like half their payroll. But yeah, so I'm on the money line for the White Sox, but my show play was actually going to be the over. But since I bet them both, I'm going to give them both. My money is on both, so hey, I'll go with. I'm not going to pick one play, so I'll go with both. We'll go with both. Both plays are recommended by Marley Bets. All right, man. One more game before we get out of here. Speaking of the Twins, great segue, Marley. Bam, you should do this professionally. The Twins, they're going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers, who's been whooping their ass right now. The run line for the Twins -1.5 is at +155. The money line is at -103. The Tigers run line +1.5 is at -175. The money line is at -107, and the total is at 3.5. Couple little actual factuals for you guys. The Twins, they're 9-4 straight up in their last 13 games against Detroit. 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games when playing on the road against Detroit. 14-6 straight up in the last 20 games against an opponent in the American League Central Division. Their totals have gone over in 4 of the last 5 games against an opponent from the AL, over in 6 of the last 7 games on the road, and over in 5 of their last 6. The Tigers, 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games. 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games at home. 6-2 straight up in the last 8 games when playing at home against the Twins. Their totals have gone under in 12 of their last 18 games when playing as the underdog. Moose, last game of the night, man. Give us a winner.
All right. I mean, I feel really good about this one. I think it's something that not a lot of people are going to be looking at or talking about. I'm actually going after Scooble here. I don't really trust Ober at all. His metrics are really bad. But one thing that's interesting about Scooble, he's got really good numbers, but you look at who he's pitched against. You're talking about him pitching against against the White Sox and getting hit around in his first start. And then he faced Royals, Rockies on the road, which is not anything to write home about. He got hit up against the Twins. Then he faced an Astros team as they were struggling, an A's team as they were struggling, an Orioles team as they were struggling, and then a Guardians team as they started struggling. But they saw him a second time, and boom, they started hitting them. I'm going on the Twins' first 5 over 1.5, -125. I want to try to stay away from that Tigers bullpen. That Tigers bullpen is really good. But I'm going to go after Scooble here. I'm going to go for a little bit of some action, some runs going up against him. The Twins have hit lefties for power. I think they're hitting like 250 average, but they have like a 740 or 750 OPS versus lefties. And Scooble, he will get hit hard. If I'm looking at his hard hit rate, his hard hit percentage is in the 37th percentile. His average exit velocity is in the 26th percentile. So he will get hit hard, and that's something that the Twins will do. And I expect them to hit him hard right out the gates. Maybe not get a ton of hits, but you see maybe a bloop and a blast, and all of a sudden you're covering that first 5. So give me the Twins first 5 over 1.5, -125.
Team total over 1.5.
1.5. Yeah.
Got you. So I didn't make a play on this game. I wanted to ask you about the over for the full game, 7.5. Thought it was really low. I know part of that is because of the Tigers bullpen is really good.
And the Tigers just aren't hitting. I mean, they've ranked in the bottom part of the league for almost the entire season. So any overs with the Tigers involved is going to be pretty terrifying. The Twins have been hitting. They're one of those hot hitting teams, and I just like them to have some power against Skubal, who has given up some harder hits.
Okay, I'll stay away. That's the only question I had on this one. I'm gonna stay out. Cabby, what's good? We're still here, Cab. If you wanna, you got the link, brother. If you want to jump on and give out the plays you do have on the 4 games that we just did, just click the link. I do not have a play on this game. Cabby says he is 1-0-1 today. I don't care if I want to add or keep it there with the Rays team total. I didn't make a play on that game, Cap. So look, I'll show you our plays thus far. How about that? Here's Moose. Moose is on first 5 over. Sometimes my writing on this shit, I gotta get better. First 5 over, 4.5 for the Mariners. White Sox team total over. First 5, 1.5. White Sox team total over. First 5, 1.5, and full game over. Team total that is 3.5. Yankees run line and the money line, and the Twins team total over 1.5. That should be for the first 5. I need to add that in. Feel like I'm light today. Feel like I'm missing some plays. I don't have my White Sox play on there.
Yeah. The White Sox isn't on there, but when you're winning, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're trying to chase all the volume. I'm generally going to be a volume guy. I don't shy away from making bets. I'll play ladders. I almost did play a ladder on that Baltimore-Seattle, doing like an 8, 8.5, 9, but I just couldn't pull the trigger when that 4.5 just looked way too nice, way too juicy.
I normally like football. When football season comes around, I'm gonna be a volume better. Baseball, like I told you in Cabby, I just started betting baseball like 3 years ago or so. So I'm just kind of getting deep into it where I'm like still John Gray. Yeah, I can understand why exactly. I agree, Cabby. I looked at it because we were going to do it, but we decided to do the Orioles instead. So stayed away. Group play, I'll hop on it. So, all right, now my plays are as follows. Full game over, right there, over. Full game over 9. I got it at plus 100 in the Mariners game. Yankees, Angels, under first 5. It's 4.5. I don't know why I don't have that written in. And I have the run line for the Yankees. Also, White Sox money line. Took a flyer. That's plus 1. That's plus money. And I took the over at 8.5. Moose, you told me you had some props for us today.
I do got a prop. All right, so one of the things that Detmers gives up is really hard contact. Who's one of the best hard-hitting players in the league? I'll give you a second to think about it. His name starts with an A, ends with Aaron, and his last name starts with a J and ends with Udge. Aaron Judge. I took his total bases over 1.5 at plus 108. If you want to throw a home run prop on that too, that is not the worst thing in the world. But if he hits a home run, that covers my total bases. I'll attack Detmers and his hard-hitting woes with one of the best hard-hitting foes and Aaron Judge. So let's get that Aaron Judge total bases.
I like that look. I'm probably going to follow you on that because if he hits an Aaron run, like you said, he hits a home run, which is definitely doable tonight. He covers all the bases in one swing. I like it. I'm riding. I I didn't do a $5 come up today, guys. I gotta get better with my baseball $5 come ups. I'm gonna start. Give me a second. This is the third show. Just let me get into it. And then one more time before we go. Yesterday's record. Lucky day. Marley went 4-1. Cabby went 2-1. Moose went 2-2. Our overall records in 2 shows, or is this the third, or is that three shows?
Third. We started Monday.
3 shows. 6-4. Cabby's 2-1. Moose is 3-4-1. That's a typo. I gotta fix that.
Yeah. That one is a loss. So 4-4.
LJ is
3-5.
3-3. He's only 1 show in. And our plays for today. One more time. Full game over 9 for the Mariners game. Yankees under first 5. That's a 4.5. I need to write that in. And I'm also on the Yankees run line. I'm just riding with Cortez. You know what I'm saying? I also on the White Sox money line. Got that one at plus money. But I'm on the over 8.5. The Moose Man. First 5 over 4.5 in the Mariners game. White Sox team total first 5 over 1.5. Also, team total over in the White Sox full game 3.5. Yankees run line, Yankees money line. That's a double up. Twins team total over 1.5. First 5. I need to write that in there so I don't get confused when I'm capping the games. Yankees under 4.5. Write that on my place. Save. Bam. And then Moose. That needs to be a first 5. First 5. All right, my brother. You want to tell the people where they can find you at? Good, sir.
Yeah, before I do that, if you haven't done so already, man, just hit that like button. It helps.
Shit. God damn it.
Hey, yeah, I got you. You just hit that like button. I mean, you got to try to support the man, Marley. You know, I said yesterday, buy the man a plane, train, automobile. Do what you got to do. You know, send him some love. Buy him an ice cream, whatever it is. You know,
I'll take ice cream.
Yeah, you know, whatever. I'm not sure if you're lactose intolerant or not, but you know, maybe just a little bit.
I'm good.
And if you get an ice cream, make sure you get a little sprinkle. Get a little sprinkle on that too. Yeah, you got to make it all tasty.
Well, if you send me 1, you have to send me 4 because I got kids. They'll get jealous. They love ice cream.
Okay. So keep that in mind. If you're sending ice cream, make sure you're sending that ice cream 4 times and make sure you sprinkle each one of them. Just sprinkle that ice cream cone just a little bit. Little even money on that ice cream cone.
Just a little sprinkle.
But you can find me on Twitter, Moose Money Bets. It's right down there. So just hop on there, send me a message, do what you got to do. But this is all about supporting Marley here. That's why I'm here to do. That's what I'm loving to do here. And I'm enjoying every single day, man. Just blessed to be here.
I appreciate you. You are an absolute gem for being on the show, dropping knowledge every day. Like I said, where would I be on this MLB show without you? I feel like it's going to be a very profitable season. And I personally feel like even if we're not profitable, just the knowledge that you're out here spitting on a daily basis is amazing. I'm definitely becoming a better capper because of it. So I appreciate you giving me your time, brother, for sure. With that being said, y'all know what it is, man. I am Marley Bets, and that is Mr. Moose Money. This is Brothas N Bets. And just like yesterday, just like today, just like tomorrow, y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas. And we out this motherfucker.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on